Hey, welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking. Please don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice. And Grandpa's not a financial planner. And if you would, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, boy, do we got it going on today. Sunday. Let's see, tomorrow is Monday and Tuesday's the election. It's exciting times. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about several things here. One being the dominant trend may change from down to up and turn into a buy signal instead of a sell signal for the dominant trend by Tuesday, possibly by Tuesday. We're also going to talk about, and I'm going to go through with you in detail, why Grandpa thinks that 245 might possibly be our new bottom pivot point. And if you look right here, you'll see our new bottom pivot point where Grandpa's mouse is at 245. And let's see, when did that take place? On 11/1/24, a Friday at 4 a.m. in the morning. So Friday morning at 4 a.m. when the Chinese are trading. You know, I've noticed that our top pivot points and bottom pivot points very often take place when 99% of us can't even trade it. Our previous top pivot point up at 273.70, I got my mouse over here trying to get it on it. 273.70 area. I'm getting close. There it is. Okay, so where that hit, it hit at 8:30 p.m. on, I believe, but what I'm going to tell you for sure, Friday on 10/25/24. 8:30 at night. We could only trade till 8 o'clock at night. But they made the pivot point after the after hours. And that's how they function. It's all in your favor. And do you know that you can't put a stop loss in after hours? It doesn't matter what brokerage you're with or what company. The regulators do not allow it. So you can't even put a stop loss in. It's after hours or pre-market. I don't see that being very conducive to helping the little person, I can tell you that. Okay, so Grandpa's going to get at it here. So we're going to talk about that new bottom pivot point real quick here. Election, we're going to talk a little bit about the election. I got some news on that. War, going to talk about the war. Israel, Gaza, what's going on. And I do know that Iran says that they will attack Israel again before the election. Whether they do or not is probably irrelevant. It's more relevant that it creates uncertainty in the market. The market doesn't like uncertainty. Okay, so Grandpa's going to get at it now. Pivot points. I'm going to go through a few pivot points that we've had in the past. Bottom pivot points, top pivot points, and okay, hang on a second. Bobo, you got to go play a little bit. Grandpa's got two of the little ones here going to be home with Grandpa tonight from church. They're under the weather. Grandma's under the weather. Did it come out? You can't put that one in there, sweetheart. Go drive it around a little bit. Wants Grandpa to look at his cars. And I'll look at them in a little bit, okay? Okay, so top pivot point, let's see. Bottom pivot point. back on 8/5/24, we had a bottom pivot point. Oh, I want to say, I'll go through these one time clearly, and then you can go back later and get a pen and pencil and write them down, because I think you should keep track of these pivot points for your future. I believe it's a real tell for us in regard to trading, and can probably help you make quite a bit of money in your future. Okay, so here I'm going to go through them quick before I lose my voice. On 8/5/24, which was a Monday, we had a bottom pivot point of 182. And then we reached bottom pivot point of a top pivot point of 228.55 on Tuesday, 8/20/24. Then we reached a bottom pivot point of 202.36. 202.36 on Wednesday, 8/28/24. Then we reached a top pivot point of 265 on Monday, 9/30/24. Then we reached our bottom pivot point of 212.11 on Wednesday, 10/23/24. And then we reached our most recent high top pivot point of 273.70 Friday, 10/25/24. 273.70 Friday, 10/25/24. A whopping 2 days after we made the bottom pivot point. I mean, it went up $61 and change in 2 days. So that'll give you an idea of the potential of Tesla to do stuff quick. But anyway, my point is this. I figured out the average of these 5 tops and bottoms, okay? And it's a movement of $49.97. The least being between 228 and 202 on the 20th through the 28th. We had a move, well, from top to bottom, from the 20th to the 28th, we had $26.19. That would leave us currently, if you take that away from our newest top pivot point, of 247.51. Okay, now our overall average is 49.97, but the least amount would be 247.51, and we've already gone down to 245, which is $2.50 less than that. So that would make it just about $30 that we went down from our top pivot so far. And so with the election and everything, if Trump is the winner and Elon is the winner, I'm expecting this thing to go up substantially. So we will see. But knowing your pivot points can be extremely helpful for you. You can do your own math. Grandpa's not real good at math, but I think I'm going to run with the 245 as potentially being the new bottom pivot, because when this thing takes off up like a rocket, I want to be on the bandwagon. I'm already long with 247.25 average, and I'm hoping to get some. I think we may go down near the 245. I think like when it was up at 265 as the top pivot, for example, we went back up within 20 cents of that in that right in that area, and I gotta put a show on. We're gonna watch a different cartoon here. Okay, so 265. When we made the top pivot point at 265, the next day we went up within about 20 cents of it. Okay, so it's very likely that we'll go down to say 245.50, 245.75 area. And if I see those numbers, I'll load up even much more shares. I don't have very many as it is right now. But that's Grandpa's feelings. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about Bill Clinton gave a speech here the other day in Michigan, and he was speaking to the Arabs about. He was president when he negotiated the. Hang on a second. Bill Clinton was president and negotiated the peace deal between Israel and the Palestinians when Yasser Arafat was their president over there in Gaza. And that's how they ended up getting Gaza in the first place. And so you have 1,250, and Bill Clinton is talking about this at his speech to the Arabs in Michigan, Arab community. 1,250 slaughtered in the kibbutz. Bill Clinton's talking about, and he says Yasser Arafat peace deal gave Palestinians Gaza for peace. So the Israelis negotiated with Bill Clinton and the Palestinians, and they gave Gaza to the Palestinians in return for peace. And like I say, Bill's making the speech to the Arab community of Michigan, and those people in the kibbutz largely supported the Palestinians' right to have their own state. The people living along the border right in the kibbutz, right, that were slaughtered, they supported the Palestinians. They have always been Palestinian supporters. They interacted with them daily, and they lobbied in Israel on behalf of the Palestinians to have their own state. They supported them with business and doing business with the Palestinians, and they were friends with many of them. They trusted the Palestinians, and they fought for the Palestinians' rights and wanted them to. They believed that they should have their own state to have. And what did they get? They were butchered. The ones in the kibbutz that supported and were friends with the Palestinians were butchered, burned alive, beheaded. They beheaded babies. They beheaded men in front of their families before they killed them. raped and taken captive. You know, the war affects markets, and the it the markets don't like uncertainty. You got war, but I found that very interesting. What Bill Clinton, the guy that set it up, and now I believe he was duped at the time. I believe Bill Clinton realizes now the mistake he made, and he's saying now that something different has to be done. They went in and killed the Israelis that were their friends that supported them, and they just massacred them and butchered them. Unbelievable. So election. I got news on the election. The Democrats are saying now, I just watched a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Democrats are saying that it will be potentially 12 days after the election before we know for sure who really won the election. In other words, they don't want to call the election. Trump's in the lead, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The Democrats, Kamala Harris has to sign off for the election to be over. She has to sign off. The vice president is the one that signs off. I don't know if you're aware of that, but Grandpa is. Kamala Harris has to sign off, and if she chooses to wait 12 days to sign off, that we'll be waiting. There will be, the news media can say whatever they want. Fox can say, oh, Trump won. It don't matter. Until she signs off, there is no winner. Grandpa, he smells a rat. I guess that would be an understatement. And Elon said in the past that we may see a civil war. And Grandpa doesn't know. But if the election is stolen from Trump and Elon, and it takes 12 days or even a week to come up with manufactured votes, we just might have that civil war right here. And remember two things. You want to remember these two things, very important. Trading is reactive, not predictive. I'm going to repeat that. Trading is reactive, not predictive. And secondly, the markets don't like uncertainty. And thirdly, always expect the unexpected. Always expect the unexpected. Oh, but Grandpa, you said to remember two things, and you said three. Well, you already know Grandpa isn't good with numbers. Calculating is Grandpa's strong point. I've been 97 for at least 4 years. July 20th is my birthday. And I've been 97 for at least 4 years now. And I'll most likely be 97 next year again, according to Grandma. When I ask Grandma how old I am every year on my birthday, she says, I already told you you're 97. Don't ask me again. That's what she says. And she said that for 4 years now in a row. I'd like to know how old Grandpa really is. That's what I'd like to know. But till then, I'm just going to stick with 97. And if you don't believe me about this, you can listen to my previous live streams on the subject. And I'm gonna go to the dominant trend here in a second. But before I do, like, share, and subscribe. Just for the fun of it. Okay, we're going to look at the daily quick because I want to show you. I want to show you why I believe by Tuesday we may have the dominant trend is currently down because we've lost the daily as a sell signal now. But I'm going to show you how easily this can change. Now, this big red candle here, each candle represents one day, by the way. This big red candle here, if on Monday we have a red candle and it fits inside the body of this one, just the body of it, not the wick. The wick can run way up and way down, don't matter. But if the body of the one on Monday fits into this, and on Tuesday, election day, we have a green candle, the dominant trend will be up, and 245 will be very likely very close to. We could even get a little bit lower one than 245. That is possible. I'm not saying that. I just, for right now, 245 looks like it might be the number. They did it after hours or pre-market. I can't remember which. Let me look. When did the, yeah, they did it at 4 a.m. in the morning on 11/1/24, the 245. So they did it pre-market, and that's when they did that 245, right there. And I think we may come right back down close to it. But as long as the next one fits into it, if we get a red candle tomorrow and it fits inside this one, look for a green one on Tuesday, and then look for $300, 280 minimum. 300, 315, 330. Grandpa's leaning towards 370. Hey. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly of all, think about eternity once in a while. Think about eternity. Grandpa does.